For years, the entire camera industry has shared one massive, unspoken question: what happened to the number 4? Canon gave us the R5, the R3, the R1, the R6, and the R8, completely skipping over a designation that millions of creators assumed would be a cornerstone of their lineup. But silence is never permanent in the tech world. Behind closed doors in Tokyo, engineering prototypes have been moving through final testing, and the latest manufacturing leaks have just blown the lid off what is easily the most anticipated release of the year. The Canon EOS R4 is real, it is arriving much sooner than expected, and it is engineered to completely disrupt the professional imaging market. If you thought you knew what a hybrid mirrorless camera could do, prepare to throw out your expectations because everything changes today. Let us start with the core of any imaging machine, the sensor, because what Canon has managed to pull off here is nothing short of revolutionary. Industry supply chain leaks point directly to a newly developed, custom-built stacked BSI CMOS sensor sitting right around the 60 to 80 megapixel threshold. For years, photographers have faced an agonizing compromise. You either bought a high-resolution landscape body that choked on rolling shutter and struggled with fast-moving subjects, or you bought a speed-focused sports body that lacked the pixel density required for massive commercial crops and fine art printing. The EOS R4 completely obliterates that compromise. By utilizing a lightning-fast stacked architecture, readout speeds are reduced to fractions of a millisecond. This means electronic shutter rolling distortion is virtually eliminated, allowing you to fire off rapid continuous bursts at unprecedented frame rates without sacrificing a single drop of detail. Imagine having the sheer resolution of a studio medium-format powerhouse combined with the raw, lightning-quick reflexes of a dedicated sports shooter. That is the exact territory Canon is stepping into, and rival brands like Sony and Nikon are scrambling to respond to the shift. The performance leaps do not stop at still photography. In the realm of professional videography, the leaks are sending shockwaves through Hollywood and commercial production houses across the United States. For generations, high-resolution video came with a terrifying catch: thermal throttling. When you push a sensor to record massive data streams, heat builds up rapidly, forcing cameras to shut down right in the middle of a critical take. Canon's engineering team addressed this head-on by integrating a revolutionary graphene-based internal cooling system into the EOS R4 chassis. Graphene possesses extraordinary thermal conductivity, pulling heat away from the processor and sensor array instantly. Because of this breakthrough, the EOS R4 is heavily rumored to support internal 8K 60p RAW recording natively. Let that sink in for a moment. True 8K cinema-grade RAW footage recorded internally to your memory cards at 60 frames per second, without external recorders, and without overheating. For independent filmmakers, documentary crews, and commercial directors, this capability completely changes how travel kits and primary B-cams are configured. You are no longer carrying heavy external rigs just to capture high bitrate cinema footage. The power of a full-scale cinema camera is compressed directly into a lightweight, weather-sealed mirrorless body. Autofocus performance has always been a defining battleground, and Canon is doubling down with an entirely new neural processing engine. Building on the incredible foundation of their dual-pixel CMOS AF, the EOS R4 introduces what insiders are calling action priority AI autofocus. Previous generations of autofocus systems were brilliant at tracking eyes, faces, and vehicles, but the new deep learning algorithms take predictive tracking into a completely different dimension. Imagine tracking a fast-moving bird darting through dense foliage, a race car tearing down a track through heavy heat haze, or a volatile action sequence where the subject is constantly obscured. The EOS R4's processor doesn't just track where the subject is, it anticipates where the subject is going based on motion patterns, skeletal tracking, and environmental variables. Coupled with an evolution of Canon's famous eye control AF, where the autofocus point follows the literal movement of your eyeball inside the viewfinder, the camera acts almost as an extension of your own nervous system. You look at a subject, the camera locks on instantly, and even if obstacles cross your field of view, the intelligent tracking algorithm holds onto that focus lock with terrifying tenacity. Let's talk about the build quality, ergonomics, and how this body fits into the broader market landscape, because strategy dictates everything in modern tech manufacturing. For a long time, creators looked at the gap between the mid-tier enthusiast bodies and the ultra-expensive flagship sports cameras and wondered where their ideal upgrade path lay. The EOS R4 is meticulously positioned to fill that exact vacuum. It features a magnesium alloy chassis designed to withstand punishing weather conditions, heavy impacts, and grueling field environments. The button layout has been completely refined based on feedback from working professionals who demanded better tactile feedback, customizable dial configurations, and optimized menu routing. Furthermore, leaks concerning its high-resolution pixel shift mode suggest the camera can leverage its stack sensor to stitch multiple exposures internally, delivering a massive 240-megapixel ultra-high-resolution image for archival, fine art, and commercial landscape applications right out of the camera.